Okay, fair point. Now, you know what? Let's do one thing. Let's invite a management. They will stay on. Radico Khaitan is a stock under a bit of a pressure. Keep in mind, the stock has had a one-way rally in the last 3 months. Abhishek Khaitan is joining us, MD of the company. Abhishek, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us. Abhishek, before I talk about the results, you're going in for capex. If you could explain why, and I think your debt has also come down over the last 9 months or so. So, is that giving you a bit of a comfort to go for this capex? If you could first, throw some light on that.
Yeah, thank you, Anuj. If you see Radico Khaitan, 5 years back, our debt was close to 1,000 crores. And in the last 5 years, our debt now is down to only 135 crores. That means over 800 crores we have paid through internal accruals. This is in spite of having a 1,000 crore of working capital, which is also self-funded. Now, Radico Khaitan has reached a very interesting phase, and we have consolidated for the last 5 years. And we are very excited about this capex plan because what is happening, we are doing two capexes. Number one is we are converting the Rampur molasses plant into a dual feed. That means it can operate on grain plant, where we are spending close to about 185 crores. And we are putting a greenfield distillery in Sitapur, where we have already acquired 107 acres of land. And there we are putting a grain plant which can give us close to 11 crore liters of grain alcohol. Plus, we are also putting a malt maturation hall for our Rampur Indian single malt because the demand of Rampur is too much. And from FY'23, we'll have enough capacities because we had invested in Rampur about 4-5 years back. Plus, we are also expanding in Sitapur our gin plant for Jaisalmer. And both these two capexes, if you see, our ROC in these two capexes would be close to about 20 to 23%, with a payback period of 3.5 to 4 years.
Okay. So, Abhishek, important points. Now, let me just ask you a question on, since you mentioned both the brands and both Rampur and Jaisalmer have done well. In fact, Jaisalmer has been a phenomenal brand, right? And with the kind of market share that it's garnered already, why did it not reflect in your numbers in terms of, margins and profit? One would have expected much higher numbers.
See, I'd like to share that, in this quarter, we've got the first order of Jaisalmer and Rampur from the armed forces. And Jaisalmer, we have now started expanding to the rest of the country. We are now present in about 10 states. And by the end of the year, it will be a national brand. And as far as the margin goes, the margin pressure is because of the non-IMFL business, what is happening in Uttar Pradesh. The country liquor business is getting into getting premiumized and going into the economy segment. So the government this year has decided to convert 25% of the entire country liquor segment into grain alcohol. And slowly and gradually, the entire thing will get converted into grain. So not only the margin will increase, but it will also premiumize the entire country liquor segment like in the southern states. So going forward, I think in a couple of years, our margin should be in the late teens.
Okay, all right. Abhishek, Thursday afternoon, markets under pressure, you're suddenly livened up the mood. Talking about drinks on a Thursday evening, I feel like I'm on a Friday evening. But let's talk about the numbers. I wanted a couple of numbers actually from you. You're spending around, I think, roughly around 750 crores of capex. Yeah, I think you have, disclosed that close to around 370 crores will be long-term borrowing. How do you fund the rest of it? Will the rest of it be entirely internal accruals, or will it be, raising some equity or the like?
Accruals, and in fact, by FY'25, Radico will again be kind of a debt-free company.
Okay, so internal accruals and the remainder.
The kind of cash we'll be generating, it will all wipe out all this capex.
Okay, so no equity is what you're raising. That's what I want to clear.
No equity at all.
Second part is, what will be the asset turn on this? You'll be spending around 750 crores. What kind of a revenue can you generate from it?
See, the revenue, it will be a mix because it will support the IMFL business also. So to give a right number, but like it will be more than, I think, about 1,000 crores.
So, Abhishek, is there going to be a bit of a pressure on raw material for you going forward? Because a lot of these prices are going higher, the ones that you use, and do you have enough pricing power to tide over this?
Absolutely. Like, see, that is why our premiumization is helping us to sustain the margins. And once the margins on the non-IMFL business also increase, and now with especially Rampur and Jaisalmer, the production will start increasing of Rampur single malt especially. So I think the margin pressure would be absolutely off, and we'll be in the late teens in the coming years.
And what kind of targets would you have for these two brands, Rampur and Jaisalmer, now that you expanded to, as you said, to 10 states?
See, we don't give out numbers brand-wise, especially of the luxury segment, but it's quite significant.
Okay.
It'll become quite significant by next year.
Okay. What about exports? I think they were only 5-6% of business. You were talking about that growing at a faster clip. What is it at now?
Export is same, about 7% of our business.
Okay. Is it growing at a faster rate though?
See, right now, last about 2 quarters, it's not growing that much because of the freight rates, etc. But I think overall, in the coming quarters, it should again go back into double digits.
Okay.
And if you see for the quarter also, like our premium portfolio's volume has grown 18%, and overall volume of Radico has grown 7.4% compared to the industry, which has grown only 2%.
Okay, so in this quarter, because of state elections, especially in UP, which I'm assuming is a big market for you, would there be some pressure, Abhishek?
No, I don't think so. UP is massively growing. Like, there's a lot of demand which is coming in UP, and especially now in the liquor industry, what we are seeing, the COVID effect is over, and with the opening up of the economy, the consumption is going up.
And this Ranthambore, how's that doing? We know that Rampur and Jaisalmer have done well. What about Ranthambore?
See, Ranthambore is the first Indian brand which is priced at the Scotch segment, and we are placed in the market. We are placed in the 5 states. And wherever it has been placed, the initial response is very good. And in the coming year, we will take it all India. So the response is very good. And in fact, we launched that 8 p.m. premium black whiskey, which is in the semi-premium segment. This is the first month in December where we crossed 2 lakh cases for this brand.
Okay, all right. Give us a couple of near-term numbers then. Your margins for the past quarter were around 15.5%. What's it likely to be from here on? And also, what's your volume guidance? I think earlier you were talking about, high teens, if I'm not mistaken, volume number for FY'22. Could you update us on that one?
See, as far as the margin goes, our margins will be consolidating at these levels, but in the long range, I'm sure it's going to get into the late teens.
Okay, Abhishek, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot for joining us, and all the best with your capex plans. That's Radico Khaitan. The stock's done well. In fact, it's really outpaced United Spirits over the last 6 months or so. Almost 15,000 crore market cap company now. We'll take a break. Up next, Godrej Properties has taken a beating on the back of weak Q3. We'll get you the earnings fine print on the other side of this break. Also, we'll